My name's Jeanna and I've been the supervisor at Incredible Kids for the last 2 years and a bit. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about my job today and why I've enjoyed my time with Incredible Kids so much. First of all, it's possibly one of the most eclectic and varied and interesting jobs that I've ever had. I've been hairdressing for about 30 years, but when I actually came to Incredible Kids, I had very little background and training actually working with children, so I thought this automatically meant that I probably wouldn't be the best qualified person for the role. In actual fact, what I learned very early on was that what Incredible Kids really looked for above anything else were people that just had a good spirit, a good energy, and actually were kind people. During my time with Incredible Kids, I actually came to them feeling quite unconfident about myself. I didn't really have a lot of self-esteem. I knew that I had skills from working with the public for many years, but I didn't really think that I could apply them to other types of situations and jobs. They saw something in me and I began working for them, and it's been an absolute barrel load of fun ever since. You could be doing absolutely anything in a day working at Incredible Kids. Sometimes you'd be mixing up slime, making potions, making things out of clay, helping children create things, make things with art. All kinds of different varied activities. We do team nights and different types of sessions where you could be doing anything from helping to make pizzas and put things together, whisk up milkshakes. You kind of find yourself one day and you think, you know what, I'm actually like, I could be a barista, you know, and suddenly you realise you've learned all this whole new skill set that you could apply to all kinds of other jobs if you wanted to in the future. Next day you think, you know what, I could be an artist, because you find you're doing all these amazing paintings and things. And that's not to say you have to be an expert in everything, because the one thing that I've learned with working with them is that they don't celebrate the actual end result and what you create. The whole point of everything in life is to learn how to make mistakes, how to laugh at yourself, and how to actually help children to learn that mistakes are not bad, that they're an opportunity to grow and to be able to have fun and take pleasure in the doing things rather than the actual end result. I would have to say, out of all of the elements of the job, I've enjoyed everything. So, you know, it's not just about playing with children. Of course, that is part of the role, a large part of the role, but it's not just about that. It's also about working with an amazing team. So the next thing I'm coming to is the fact that my team have been the absolute best that I've ever worked with. I've worked in lots of environments where there can be cattiness, nastiness. It just does not exist here. With the Christian background and the principles that they uphold in the charity, there is absolutely no tolerance and no room for any kind of backbiting or unpleasant behaviour, and you've got a team of really great people here that get on so well. I've had my flaky moments where, as their supervisor, I've had my little meltdowns. I've kind of lost it, and I've been really sort of, oh, this has gone wrong. I had the fire engines out one week when I burnt the Play-Doh, and my team have always been there. Jeanna, are you okay? Do you want a cup of tea? And they kind of look after me, and I feel that they've regarded me as their friend as much as their supervisor. So it really does feel like an actual team that all pulls together, and you know, everybody is an equal, which I really like. The other thing that is really great is not only are they so supportive, you know, when I've had my little meltdowns myself and things have gone wrong, but also with each other too, and the organisation doesn't only support families with additional needs, but it also is very inclusive in its employment ethics, and actually some of our staff have their own conditions, and they're just welcomed and they're celebrated, and we adapt to their needs as well. So working for Incredible Kids has been great because they've actually been very adaptive to myself, even with mental health issues, and I've just felt that it has been the most nurturing place that I could possibly have been. I would say the key thing you need to be able to work for Incredible Kids is lots of empathy and to just be a kind person. I think that's the quality that they as an organisation value over anything else. The next thing, the most wonderful thing about the job, are the parents, the carers, the families. If you really like people, if you're a people person, you might think, well, do you know, I don't know, I haven't got, you know, exactly the right skills to bring to the table to say I'd be good at doing this. But if you like people and you care about them and you really have a feeling inside you that you want to make a difference in their lives, then that is really going to take you way ahead in favour of anybody with a great bagload of qualifications. Um, with the parents, there's a lot of support, moral support work involved, a lot of emotional support. You don't have to be a trained psychologist, you don't have to have any kind of qualifications in mental health. What you have to have is just a really good listening ear, and that's the part of the job I have enjoyed the most. It's a wonderful way of bringing your life skills to the table and actually being able to help people. You can turn around situations you've been through yourself. If you've had a bit of a rough ride and your life hasn't been a bowl of cherries, you know, those things that you've been through, I believe that you can take those things and you can actually flip the coin and turn them around, and they have not been a wasted experience if you're able to apply them to helping people. And this is something you get to do a lot in the role of a supervisory post for Incredible Kids. For me, the absolute enjoyment has been the fact that the parents have given me that trust to tell me all of the things that they share with me. And it can be over any number of topics. They tell me things they wouldn't even tell their doctor. And to be quite honest with you, I have never once minded hearing any amount of problems, because the feeling that you get when you know that people have actually given you that trust is just out of this world. And in return, you know, they bring to you as well the same amount of moral support back. I've been able to share all of the experiences and things that I've been through over the past years. There's nothing, and when you're really busy, you don't have time to talk to them. You suddenly stand there one day, and we have like the Fire Pit Friday, so we do all these crazy little things, and we're always receptive to new ideas. So if you're a person who has a very colourful mind and you kind of have all these, you know, really kind of like crazy sort of like notions in your head, I want to do this, I want to do that, it's brilliant. You get to go to scrap store every once in a while and dig around amongst all the rubbish and make things out of it. Decorate the place when we have little parties for the kids. Everybody contributes and thinks of ideas and things we can do to make it look pretty and make it go off with a bang. We all stand around the fire pit in the winter, and we stood there cooking your hot marshmallows, toasting them on forks, sticking them in biscuits. And you know, even in those moments of silence, you're around people that for that time it doesn't feel like you're in a workplace anymore. It feels like you're part of a family, a very large and welcoming family. The children are just, it's just amazing. There's something about working with SEND children that I prefer to working with a lot of children neurotypically. I mean, obviously I love children, but there's just something extra special about children with SEND. It's really hard to put it into words, but when you realise that a child that's not been able to communicate well, that is suffering from crippling anxiety, and that child seems to, you know, kind of shun the kind of connection that other children perhaps would enjoy. But when that child comes up to you and they hand you a lump of clay, and it's some kind of wonderful, very artistic little elephant, or it's a grommet or something like that, and they've made that for you, or they've made a little box of funny clay faces with the most amazing expressions, and you're totally wowed by their talent, and you wrap them up in tissue and you see their appreciation, it feels like such a major breakthrough, and you realise that actually that child's made a connection and they've actually shown you something that they're proud of. It's really nice to be able to think of ideas to help children with sensory needs to develop and flourish. It's great, you can be mucking around with water beads or trying to just set up a really pretty setup in the sensory room, putting strobe lights out and things like that. And nobody at Incredible Kids is out there to get an award. We're just using our imaginations. It's just trying to create something beautiful and different and make a window of happiness in a child and in their parents' life as well. Apart from that, we the pack up times at Incredible Kids, we put in all the stuff away. There's a lot of joking and laughing. We put our pop music on. At the end of the day, the staff get together. We have a breakfast in the morning on Saturdays together. We get together in the afternoon before we leave, and we play board games together. There's a real feeling leaving Incredible Kids that I have now, that I'm actually leaving behind a family, and I'm very sad about that. But in actual fact, such is the case with the organisation. I don't feel like it's the end. I think I'll always be attached to this organisation until the day I die, and hope to be able to be involved with their work in the future. I don't know really what, I think I've pretty much covered everything that I want to say. It's just a really, really rewarding place to work. And all that you really need to have is the right intentions and to want a job that actually feels meaningful, rather than just something that you take home a wage and you just, I mean, obviously that's nice to have, that's obviously important, but if you feel that you need something that gives meaning to your life, that makes you actually feel more valuable, you won't find a career that will boost your own self-esteem as much as this, whilst you're helping to boost the esteem of vulnerable people. Anyway, I hope that kind of covers everything. And if you're going to apply for the role, best of luck. And I really hope you're going to be as happy as I've been at Incredible Kids. Bye.